Yeah,
a full on leather dress.
That's really how it got to me.
Like, what?
I think I'm special.
KillerMike, Run the Jewels. Like, Run the Jewels came out, and I first heard them in 2014, and they released a critically acclaimed debut. But he does so much more than music. In fact, how I knew him was for who he was rather than the music.
That is kind of the same for me. I remember I saw his Netflix show.
Yeah.
Trigger Warning.
Yeah. And then Run the Jewels got critically acclaimed. Every album they come out with is like, yo, this, like, he's spitting. But it wouldn't, I don't know if it would be like that, or if it would be as critically acclaimed if people weren't invested into how socially conscious he is, or how
personality in himself.
Personality, or how invested he is in his community.
I even see him with politicians.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, do you know what I'm saying? It's like, what does he do? Yeah. Now we go and check out what he does. Now he's a Google search, and now we realize he makes music. Now people are saying, oh, he can rap, you know, critically acclaimed album. Yeah. Now, for example, another one is JoeBudden, for example, podcast.
Oh yeah.
Podcast, like, he's literally probably the most talked about podcast right now in the urban community right now.
I was playing Def Jam, and I saw JoeBudden was a playable character in that game. Def Jam was like fighting with rappers. And
Def Jam, they had the game in the past. Yeah. Like, he was also on this media thing before, but when the rap career kind of fizzled out, and when it's like, it's not fun anymore, like, oh, I'm getting stale, or I'm not making as much money as I once was, it's like, let me go and
maybe the passion just ain't there.
Yeah, the passion might not be there, and that's the thing. That's why it's important to have more other things you do, because you might not want to sing today. You might just want to draw. Do you know what I mean?
You might want to dance.
You might want to dance. Do you know what I mean? That's what it is. And then, but there's other things that play, factor in these things. And then he's talking about personality. We talked about things you could do outside music. But ultimately, the audience will have to decide as well, because like I said, they're into stuff that doesn't concern them, like your love life. Completely, like, I
think Cardi B recently, like, she
divorced. But even on an example,
it's like, why is this in my
look at Lemonade, Beyonce, and then the flowers, the flower apology, the bouquet of flower apology was 444.
Yeah.
Like, someone would argue. So it's like, oh,
that's actually a really good point.
Like, oh, wait, you're actually interested in what they're about to break up and then make an album separately.
Like, you're profiting off your own struggle.
And then everybody's interested and invested because we've always known them to be together. It's like, whoa, the king and the queen. Yeah. Really? Queen B, okay. Usher, Confessions.
What's he doing now, though?
We don't know what he's doing now, because people are not as interested and invested. And he's another example of you can get still. Like, just doing that one thing, music, is like, people know.
I don't know. I remember.
It's not that, and that's what I'm saying. Talent isn't enough. Talent isn't enough. Talent won't even get you in the door, because a lot of talent. There's so many people that are much more talented than people in the industry. But if it's about talent, a lot of people won't be where they are. But it's it's about way more than that. And Usher, Confessions, he broke up with Chili. Every time I was in LA, I was with my ex. Every time I could.
He made 2 albums about, like, cheating.
Like, literally. And everybody was interested and invested in what was, like, he's documenting it. It's like a journal.
I actually have another question then. Do you think there's like a moral line in terms of, I mean, perhaps it's personal, but then do you think there's like a moral line in how you profit off your own personality or your own livelihood, I guess? Like, is there like a moral, like, thing, or do you think
moral?
As in, like, do you think, say, I'm not an artist, but say I make an album. Say I do what Usher did and I make an album about the fact I cheated on my girl. Like, do you think there's a moral line being crossed there? Or do you think, it's all your life ultimately?
Do you know what's mad? This is why I say I'm a creative. A creative has the creative license to say what they want to say. Because ultimately, sometimes it does feel like, when we take ourselves from a logical standpoint, sometimes we feel like the therapist. And then, like, there's therapy going on, like, they're pouring out their heart and their soul to us. Whether that's Jesus, him screaming on the like,
the first lesson I think of a lot of that is Kanye.
Yeah, and then, or like, it could be Confessions, where and it's got, could have been Lemonade, or it could be 444. And then there's another thing, storylines. That's what makes, like, that's draws people. Movies, anime, sitcoms, comedy, storylines. So these are things, yeah. Storylines is, for example, I talk about YoungThug, for example. Like he kind of popped up on the internet to me because they said, oh, this rapper from Atlanta is wearing a dress.
Yeah,
a full on leather dress.
That's really how
like,
it got to me.
Like, what?
I'll think about
in 2013 in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Where there's a number
black
significant number of black people. Yeah, we've got family in Atlanta. Like, what? And I saw the image, but then he made music, and then it was hard. It was hard, but this guy was wearing a dress, and then apparently he had his nails. A lot of things. He was doing a lot, but yet then I saw him in another video with a gun, and then I was thinking, what? YoungThug? And then the way he was rapping on beats and his voice was so high, it's like I've never heard this before. But then there's reminiscent to like Lil Wayne, like a little bit, but it's like completely different. And the way he was attacking beats, the way he was opening and closing the rhyme was none other at the time. These are storylines that develop. Then he was under Gucci, he was under a lot of rappers like at that time. We used to collaborate with him. Yeah. But then he used to add something unique on the record.
People like narratives. Like,
yeah, look, that's the narrative.
I don't think people like him anymore, but I'm not sure how you feel to this situation. I'm not gonna pry too deep into it, but like say 6ix9ine, he has a whole narrative surrounding him.
Exactly, it's another narrative.
He had a very successful album, but now recently I'm seeing that like he's like, I'm not selling.
Yeah. So see him, it's like with 6ix9ine is a thing that unauthentic.
Yeah,
that's the thing. This is why it's important. You not only you control the narrative, bro. And I think he to be fair,
he tried his hardest.
He tried his hardest, but he was just not real. It was just not real. Yeah. And ultimately that caught up with him. But there's another thing. Am I a Yahoo boy? I'd never thought from a very traditional conservative country where you kneel down, you parents come first, this, books, education, that such a guy will come out of there. And to be fair, I'm interested in the narrative because he came from Peckham, was making music here, was relatively big, but went back there. And I'll talk about this in another video in greater detail because he deserves my undivided attention in this regard. He went back there, made a video called Isago, happened to be in the World Cup year, became the official anthem.
He was in the World Cup?
Yeah. And he make a visual anthem unexpectedly. And everybody was saying, how's he making his money? Yahoo, he must be scamming people. 419, stupid Nigerian. Okay, cool. Then he said he has tongue in cheek. Am I a Yahoo boy? Within 24 hours of that video was shot, he was arrested by EFCC, which is the fraud organization in Nigeria. It's basically the government. They arrested him. And then everybody was saying, free him. This is a narrative. Yeah. Free him. So now that heightened the videos, like, yo, like, what did he do? He didn't do nothing. They hold him for a long time. Everybody's saying, free him. And by the way, he was dancing as well in the video and all of that. And everybody's like, oh, he can dance as well. We don't have many Afrobeat Afrobeat artists that can dance. So a lot of people that are attracted to him is like, wow.
He brought something new. And then he, after months of them releasing him, he then dropped a major video called Soapy, probably the biggest hit of his career. I mean, with that build-up.
Yeah, and then it was with him again, using that narrative. Now the video was shot with them in jail.
I think if Huey P. Newton dropped an album after he was set free, I mean,
exactly.
But yeah.
Now they were in jail suits in the video Soapy, so it was kind of reenacting what happened in jail. But it was the biggest hit. It was the biggest hit of his career. Now the rest is history, but yeah, I'll go into detail in another video. But yeah, these are things that happen. Travis Scott, for example, shoes. He made some shoes, sneakers or crepe, whatever.
Might not be the best time to ask, but what do you think of the argument that he's the next Kanye? I've heard it.
I've heard it. I'm not gonna say that I haven't heard it, but I I don't know, man. Time will tell. I think he's in his own right. I think we'll be doing a disservice to him because I feel like he's still got a lot to accomplish, and it looks like he has a huge skill set. And he is very creative. So we'll see where this one goes. Hopefully this is for the good of us and we get great content from him. Yeah. But I think this speaks to him, and a host of other names speak to the fact you shouldn't be afraid to be yourself.